Okay, welcome. Today we're going to take a look at a subscriber's comment who is having a little bit of trouble and the advice I've given them in order to try and help. And this advice would help anybody who's got a shop on Etsy or eBay and they're struggling. This seller or subscriber goes on to say, they only buy costume jewellery at the moment. I'd love to venture into precious metals one day. They have a little shop on Etsy, but they're barely getting any views on items. And some are not getting any views at all, which is extremely disappointing. I said, thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. If you want to share your Etsy name, I will have a look and see if there are any suggestions I can make to help at all. So they've come back and said, I've checked the stats on Etsy shop. Almost 85% of my items haven't even had a single view. Most have been on sale for at least 12 months, and the highest views I've had of one item is 7 views. I've relisted them several times too. Any criticism, advice would be much appreciated. Now that is something I have talked about for years. You can have an eBay shop, you can have an Etsy shop. And I have said for years, if you look at the actual people that click on your item, it is extremely low. It really is. I used to have antiques on eBay, and some of my items in a 30-day turnaround would have 1 or 2 views. That's not what you expect off a worldwide platform. So we're going to look at some of the advice I've given her. So I've said, thank you for giving me your Etsy shop name. I've had a look and a few suggestions that might help. Firstly, why are you on Etsy, not on eBay? And I asked her, is it the price difference? Now, I don't like eBay. I really don't. However, eBay now, you can have a private account and sell for free. They still charge you if you're a business, but eBay sell a lot more items than Etsy from what I gather from my research, from talking to my other sellers. It's just my own experience. I find that eBay achieves better money for the items and sells a lot more and has a lot more traffic. So I've said, is it the price difference? And I've said, I don't like eBay, but it does get sales. If you're not getting sales on Etsy at all, would it make more sense to basically sell on eBay, make more money, still pay the fees, and you'd still end up with more than what you're making on Etsy now because basically you're not selling? So you need to choose your platform. Platform is really important. If you're not selling on Etsy, cross-promote them or leave Etsy altogether. If it's not getting you the sales, it's not the right platform for you. It's that simple. You have Marketplace. I have friends who sell tons of antiques and collectibles and gold and silver on Marketplace. They really do. Right? And if you're not even getting the views, at the end of the day, if I had an antique shop and I weren't having the sales, the first thing I would do is track how many buyers are coming over the door every day. If I'm not getting the buyers over the door, then I know nobody knows about me. It's an advertising issue. People don't know I'm there. If I'm getting people over the door every day, but they're not converting into sales, then I know it's there's something wrong with my stock or is something wrong with my pricing. But if you don't track, you don't know. It's that simple. So I've suggested basically, would she be better off going onto eBay and paying their fees? It's that simple. But then I went in and I looked at the seller's items, and I've picked one very specific one that was listed as vintage red art glass bowl. Now I looked at the bowl. Here it is. This was the bowl in question, and it was listed as nothing more than vintage art glass bowl. Now, there's nothing wrong with that image at all. It is a good looking image, so the photographing is clearly good. However, it was misdescribed. This is a 1960s Italian Murano glass ashtray. You could still sell it as a bowl, but either way, there was a lot of keywords missing out of the title. Now, if you don't know what it is, a simple Google Lens image search would soon identify it. Google has got really good, you can upload a photograph and it'll tell you what the item is. If not, there are other ways you can do it. You can use ChatGPT and things like that, a free version to help you identify items. So you shouldn't be listing anything, period, if you don't know what it is. You really shouldn't. Now, this was actually listed at either £12 or £15 at the time, and they still couldn't sell it. Now my response was, if this was on eBay, listed correctly with the correct keywords in the title, the correct description, and these images, you'd get £25 to £30, which was more than double what they were asking, and they still couldn't sell it. And I said it would sell quicker. It's got to be presented right. The image has got to be perfect. And when you buy in antiques and collectibles and non-essential items, what you've got to understand is this. These are spur of the moment buys. Someone comes on, they like it, they buy it. You need to give them every bit of information you can in that description. Who made it? How old is it? Is it in good condition? What size is it? Everything you can give them, they need to have there and then, because if they click off, a couple of minutes later, they've forgotten about it. The chances of them coming back and buying it is extremely remote. You've got to strike while they're there. So you've got to give them every bit of information you potentially can. That basically means there's no questions left. It's, do they like it? Do they want it? Can they afford it? Yes, have it. If they got to go off and come back, people got busy lives. It is not going to happen. So my answer was, it should read mid-century Italian Murano glass bowl, 1960s. And I said, if you don't know it's Murano, then you're not using Google Lens. Now, this isn't me running down this seller. They had a lovely shop. They had some lovely items. This is people don't understand all the tools that are available to them. Google Lens is a free tool that is available to anybody. And next to that, you have ChatGPT. So with the descriptions, you need to include as much detail as you can, right? As I've just explained to you now, if they're there and they're looking at your item, you want them to have every reason to click and buy. You do not want to give them a reason to click off and think, I'll have to come back or email the buyer, because the odds are they'll never come back. In the title, you want as many keywords as you potentially can. So run a search for sold listings on eBay, on Etsy. Find out what other people are selling your item for, because it's very unlikely you're going to be a one-of-a-kind item. And if you are, then do research into search terms and keywords relating to your item, and pack as many keywords and search terms in your title, in your description, as you potentially can. People will search terms and keywords. And another mistake people make is this, using the word vintage too much. Now, this seller had every single item in their shop, pages of it. Vintage was the very first word on everything. Now, if you imagine there's millions of sellers on eBay, millions of sellers on Etsy, 90% of them start an item with vintage. So vintage is no longer a search term, because there are so many people doing it, it's flooded. So you can overuse a search term such as vintage. If you want to call it vintage in the description, that's absolutely fine. But why waste that in the title? You've only got some like 70 to 80 characters to be really optimized in your search title. So why would you not make them perfect for the item, specific for the item? If someone is searching for your item, there's no point putting vintage and things like that in, or collectible, and trying to get people who just collect general. You want someone, if they're searching for Italian glass, you want them to get your piece put in front of them. There's no point putting your piece in front of somebody who just collects vintage. Maybe they're vintage, mid-century, modern, West German pottery, or collectible. Maybe they collect, I don't know, bronzes. You want your keywords to be specific to your item. Let's recap. You got specific keyword and title. Make sure that title is rammed with search terms, keywords relating to the item you're selling. Make sure that description contains everything you can. And make sure that description is SEO optimized. What I mean by that is search engine optimized. And to do that, it is simple. Packing it with full keywords and relevant terms relating to your item again, but making sure they flow in the description, as well as making sure all the information, size, condition, age, make it, etc. is all in the description. Make sure you got clear images, just like that one was a nice image. If possible, you want to make sure all postal costs are displayed so they know every cost. Now, for example, in America now, every single parcel to America now, you have to pay a customs import charge, otherwise known as duty. Now, this never used to be paid on items under $800. Now, it's paid on everything, but it's paid upfront by the seller when they buy postage. So, if people are there and they're thinking, well, how much is it going to cost me to get in the country, blah, 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 put it in the description. I'm very sorry, but you now have to pay your import duties up front, and this is the cost. When people check out on my website, it comes up as an import tax duty there on the checkout form, so they know exactly how much it's costing them to ship the item into America. I don't understand why any company would not want to display all the costs up front. There is no sense if you have to email and say, well, how much is it going to cost me to ship? How much is it going to cost me for import tax? Get it all there, get it nice and simple, give them everything they can to get them to do it. And then, of course, get it to them in one piece. You don't want to go through all this effort buying the item, listing the item, selling the item for it to break in the mail. So make sure you wrap it well. Now, if you're not sure about wrapping well, I have videos how to ship and pack fragile antiques. Please check them out, right? And whatever you do, send the items tracked mail, even if it's at your cost. Don't send anything that is not got a tracking number or a sign for at the other end, because you will lose. People will scam you and you will lose, even though you know it's been delivered. They'll say to PayPal, haven't had my item, no tracking number, instant refund. Don't make that mistake. I hope this has helped. One final tip I suppose I can give you is, if you're finding you're getting the conversion, you're getting the visitors, but you're not getting the conversion into sales, and you think it may be your stock, go online and search eBay sold items or Etsy sold items and find out what is actually selling. For example, Mid-Century Modern is selling. That red art glass bowl that was listed, once described as Italian Murano glass, mid-century modern, 1960s and all the rest of it, will sell. So if you don't know, if you can't sell what you're selling, go and check, see if there's something wrong with what you're buying, and if so, look for things that are selling. I hope it helped. Thank you for watching.